This is going to be a brief video about mixing JB Water Weld. It's got a tiny bit of a smell to it, so you might want to consider using it in a ventilated area. Once you take off the little piece that's on there, you'll notice that there's two different colors here. There's one that's a gray, and there's one that's white. And what you're going to want to do is make sure, when you break it off, you can see inside there, even more so, that it's gray. You're going to need to make sure that you mix these guys together completely until there's no more gray or white, light gray or white. You just want to mix them really well. I'm going to flatten it out. Just mix it in until it's all the same color, consistent with the same color. And I'm doing just a little small piece to show you, but see, when you've got stripes in it like that, that's not mixed. So you just want to flatten it out, fold it over, mix it, mush it together. Alright, so when you've got the nice little ball, basically you just want to roll it, make a little JB Weld snake or roll out of this. And it probably doesn't need to be this thick. If you're going to make an error, it's better to have it thicker than too skinny. So once you've got that little roll that's on there, all you have to do is take this, put it up against your seam, and just press it in. And once you get that roughly pressed into place, again, it's better to have too much than not enough. So what you're going to do is press it so that it goes all the way down into the seam really well, and then just press those sides to make a nice, smooth transition from the middle part into the painted wall. And then that just makes it so that you're not going to get any water coming up in there at all. It's going to make it really strong. And that's it. The chest freezer, if you're using the Whirlpool model, has three seams that you'll want to seal. First of all, there's the vertical seam on the inside front wall. You want to seal that from top to bottom. Then you want to seal the seam that goes all the way around the floor of the chest freezer, where the chest freezer meets the walls. And then you want to seal all around the compressor. Here are a couple of pictures of what the sealed seams should look like once the JB Weld has dried and cured correctly. As an option, you can seal the seam at the top of the wall where it meets the plastic molding that goes around the top walls. That's the plastic molding that the lid seals down into. Although that seam is not going to be underwater in your chest freezer, water can still get in there and potentially cause damage over the long haul. So if you do want to just be very thorough and do it right once the first time so you'll never have any issues, I strongly recommend that you seal those seams. If you're going to use, you're already using the JB Weld, so you might as well just go for the good stuff and seal those seams with the JB Weld. Here's an example of an application where the JB Weld was not thoroughly mixed together. Basically what happened here is that it did not dry, it was still wet and mushy, and we had to peel it off and then remix and reapply the JB Weld, and then it worked fine, but it was easy to remove with a putty knife. And that's one clue that it's not mixed well, if it's so pliable or if it's easily removed. Once that stuff dries, it is very tough, very solid.